might think that getting into the IT field is impossible without a computer science degree, but Tech Coach Ralph is here to prove you wrong. Get ready for some jaw-dropping revelations on how to break into this lucrative industry. Listen up, tech enthusiasts! Are you ready to break through into the IT field, but feel like you need a computer science degree to make it happen? Think again! Tech Coach Ralph has some exclusive, mind-blowing secrets to share with you. Get ready to be blown away by his jaw-dropping revelations on how to break into the tech industry without a computer science degree. So get your notepad ready, because Tech Coach Ralph is going to change your life forever. Buckle up, because you're about to embark on a journey to success in the IT field.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. Today is Monday, January 8th, 2024. We have made it past our very first week of the year of 2024. I hope that it was an amazing first week and that you've set your goals for the year, right? Not resolutions, but goals, and that you have made a plan because we like to plan here, we like to organize. You have made a plan on how you are going to accomplish those goals this year that you have set. So, last week we were talking about focus. You want to set your goals, you want to make a plan on how you're going to achieve those goals, all right? So, before we go any further, if you do not know who I am your host of the show, of the Koffee and Kata morning show, Tech Coach Ralph, where we are engineered to win. All right. So this is the Koffee and Kata morning show. We are going to get into our news stories and then we will get to our coding challenge. Today we're doing the OpenAI testing challenge from our good friends at Chaos Camp. So that is our plan for today. But before we go any further, just some quick announcements. We have our episode of Candid Conversation being released at noon Eastern Time today. I am going to be talking to you guys about burnout and how to positively harness burnout. I'm going to share with you my strategy. You might disagree with me. If you do, let me know in the comments. You might disagree with me, but this is my strategy of how I get so much accomplished in such a little amount of time. I just go for it. All right. So check that out at noon, and then tomorrow we will be going live with our weekly Q&A session. So just wanted to get that out of the way, and let's get into the show. All right. So before we get into our news, actually, I'll do it after the news, right? So let's get into our news stories, and then once we get to the challenge part, I will mention something about Friday's challenge before we get back into our OpenAI challenge. All right. So let's do that. Let's throw up our timer, and we are going to put 4 stories. We'll go with 5 minutes today, right? We will go with 5 minutes because I like to set a lower timer so that we can. It's like our wrap it up box, so we can know that if you put it longer, then you're just gonna naturally go for as long as the timer is. So I like to set it shorter, and then if we go over a little over, we don't go too much over. All right. So 5 minutes is up, and let's get to it. All right. So our first story. Oh wait, stop the show. I have my friend in the chat. Good guy says, good morning. Good morning to you too, good guy.
Good guy.
So happy to have you here this early morning. Good stuff. Just good stuff. All right. Thank you, good guy, for being here, and good morning to you as well. All right. So See, and good guy, he knows what it, because as soon as I set the timer, he he's always watching me on the timer. As soon as I set the timer, and then I have to stop and I have to like, oh, good guy is here. And then now when I go over, he's gonna be like, oh, you're off time, you're off schedule. I'm like, you got me, good guy. You got me. Anyways, all right, let's go. So, first and foremost, storm system hit much of US. Meteorologists are watching a second storm stretching across the eastern half of the US early this week, which could put nearly 70 million people at risk for severe weather, reports CNN, including the possibility of more snow, rain, strong winds, and tornadoes. Winter storms disrupted travel and blanketed parts of the Northeast in more than a foot of snow over the weekend. More than 15 million people were affected by winter storms, by winter storm warnings Sunday, and hundreds of flights were canceled per FlightAware data. Amtrak also made cancellations to its service, mainly to Boston, while about 11,800 customers were without power Sunday in Massachusetts, according to poweroutage.us. So that sucks to hear. You know, wherever you live in the country, there is going to be some type of weather situation that you have to deal with. Down here in South Florida, every year from June to November, we have to worry about hurricane season and stuff like that. And I mean, it's beautiful when it's not raining and it's beautiful when there's no hurricane. But that's something that we have to be aware of down here. And then in the north and stuff, you have to worry about snowstorms and blizzards and everything. And then in the Midwest, you might have to deal with tornadoes and things like that. And then on the West Coast, you might have to deal with. There's also snow and stuff like that, but there's also earthquakes. So everywhere has its own. Just on New Year's, Japan suffered a massive earthquake and then followed by a tsunami warning and everything, right? So everywhere you are, there is something that you have to deal with when it comes to weather-wise. All right. So let's keep our thoughts and prayers and make sure that hopefully that no one is too severely affected by the storm system that's hitting much of the U.S. All right, let's jump on to our next story. So the next story is wanted in AI English major. So for everyone who went to college to become to be an English major, guess what? AI wants you, right? So landing a job in tech is no longer a coder's world. Tech companies are now on the lookout for those with liberal arts backgrounds. I haven't seen that yet, but okay. Including literature and philosophy degrees who can help bolster language and creative thinking in AI models, Fortune reports. In fact, IBM's AI chief Matt Candy is betting on the demand for right-brainers as the need for questioning creativity skills and innovation rises. Among the role to be on the lookout for prompt engineers who require less IT skill and can train models for human behavior. I have to send this to one of my mentees. This is interesting. Nobel Prize winner Christopher Pisarides also warned of majoring in STEM, science, technology, engineering, and mathematics as jobs with more traditional face-to-face skills will take precedent. All right. Now this is a bit of a stretch. I mean, he is a Nobel Prize winner, but are you telling us that we should be focusing on liberal arts degrees over STEM? Kind of losing me with that one. All right, let's move on to our next one. So, Apple could face antitrust suit in New York Times, right? So, the U.S. Justice Department is considering filing an antitrust lawsuit against Apple in the first half of 2024, the New York Times reported, citing anonymous sources. Investigators are said to be looking into whether the iPhone maker uses popular software and hardware to protect its business interests and repel threats from competitors. Am I missing something here? The company's iMessage service, which is available only on Apple devices, has reportedly been one focus of the investigation, along with the Apple Watch's performance with iPhones versus other smartphones. The case notes that the Times could be Apple's most consequential antitrust challenge yet. While Apple did not respond to Friday's New York Times report, it has said in the past it does not violate antitrust laws. The government has also sued 3 other major tech companies in less than 5 years: Google, Amazon, and Meta. And this is the stuff that frustrates me because we're trying to be great, we're trying to innovate, we're trying to push it to the limit, and then these people who can't do anything want to get their hands on this on our realm and just stifle innovation and stuff like that. This stuff just drives me crazy. Anyways, I'm not gonna get into that, but it's just annoying, right? Um, I can only refer back to the book Atlas Shrugged, and one day, the government's gonna be like the company. Anyways, all right, let's go. Last story before we get into our coding challenge, right? So, probably the most important news of the day: Netflix shrinks its lineup. After spending years scaling up its production of original content, Netflix released about 130 fewer programs last year than in 2022, reflecting a 16% drop across its films, TV shows, and specials, Bloomberg reports, citing what's on Netflix data. The actors and writers strike that shut down Hollywood helped make Netflix late 2023 lineup its smallest in 5 years, with the strike impacts expected to continue to hit new releases in 2024 and 2025. Strikes aside, Netflix also plans to make fewer shows going forward as part of a broader strategy to reduce output while growing sales, notes Bloomberg. So, Netflix strategy is to produce less and increase the costs. Interesting, right? And then I have a small comment about that. The drop in new content so far hasn't hit Netflix's business, with the company adding over 16 million customers in the first 9 months of 2023. Netflix's Beef took home 3 Golden Globes on Sunday. Ali Wong and Stephen Yeun won Best Actress and Actor, respectively, in a limited TV series, making history as the first actors of Asian descent to win their categories. What the heck is that? To win their categories. Interesting. Anyways, yeah, so the first actors to win their categories per Axio. All right, so those are our news stories for the day. So about Netflix, right? I have T-Mobile as my phone provider, right? Carrier. And I got a message from them saying, "Hey, we are at Netflix because so through T-Mobile, I don't know if they still have it, but I have this deal where it was getting Netflix for free at one point, and then but then I get like because Netflix is increasing their prices, that means we're going to be increasing it, and I'm like, all right, I think it's about time to go ahead and cancel Netflix. So that is definitely going to be happening this month. I don't watch TV like that, right? So I'm like, I'll just like when I need to watch something, I can just go on Amazon. I can go on Prime, which reminds me, I got a notification saying Prime is going to start adding ads if you want to have ad free, then it's gonna be $2.99 a month. I'm like, okay, I'll deal with the ads when I actually watch. But I watch like I would say 90% of the things I watch now is content on YouTube, right? Um, so I don't know, like this whole. Anyways, let's get to work. All right, let's get to work. Let me pull up the Chaos Camp challenge. Let's see, where are we at? Repositories. And we are doing AI test. Right, cool. We got that. We have PyCharm open, and we are going to let's throw up 20 minutes on the clock, right? Let's do 20 minutes. And so where did we leave off? All right, so let me pull it up. All right, so let's go into our code so we can see what we have so far. Uh, one- okay, cool. So let's go here. Oh my goodness. I gotta go back to full screen for this. I have my friend and brother in the chat, Marcus. What's going on, Marcus? Good morning to you and salute to you as well. I know Marcus in real life, and such a smart guy. And you know, it's like what I've learned from him. It's so remarkable, and I am very thankful to know him and for him to be in the chat. Right? Very, you know what? You got to get one of these.
I appreciate you.
I really do. So, good morning, Marcus, and it is a pleasure to have you here. All right, so let's get into it. All right, here and here is our challenge. So, where we left off last Wednesday, we have our OpenAI key set in place, and we are going to. So, what we had to do, right? We had to like task specific accuracy. Did we start anything yet? Yeah, okay, so now I remember. See, I almost forgot, right? So we are, like I said, we're going to be using BDD. We're going to be using Behave library in Python in order to write our to complete this challenge, right? So we have our what we need to do here. What we did last time was we wrote this feature file. Oh, you know what? I was supposed to upgrade this. Forgot to do that. Let's see. Well, I guess we can just do it live. Oh, okay. Maybe I did upgrade it. I don't know. Whatever. Here we are. Okay, so let's enable plugin. ID. Okay, ID updates. Oh, geez. All right, let's see. I should have did that. I just need to. All right, let's see. Let's go to PyCharm and check for updates. Let's see how long this takes. Update and restart. And all right. So we are, we'll do it live because I did not get to doing it over the weekend. And that's since Wednesday. That is a shame. But it is what it is. This is what we go through in the real world. And working, you have to update your applications. And because then once I do that, you're gonna see it becomes like all easy to read. Our feature file is going to be easy to read. It's going to have like nice, pretty colors and stuff like that. So let's get that out of the way. And but in the meantime, we can continue to read what we have to do. So we have our task specific accuracy, right? Test that sends specific prompts to the AI to compare to results to predefined answer set, right? So let's do what we're gonna do. I'm gonna shift to the other screen while it's upgrading, right? And I want to see how can so we're gonna search, right? We're gonna search how to find predefined answer sets for AI testing, right? Um, and we can actually read some of this because this is all related to our testing. So I guess like so let's say we ask a question cuz we could do like where we know what the answer should be, right? But that might be too easy, and we would want to do like some predefined answer stuff. So let's take a look at this article real quick. Let's see. So a complete guide to AI, machine learning, software testing. All right. So what is AI and ML and software testing? So AI, ML, and software testing is the integration of artificial intelligence and machine learning technologies into many phases and aspects of software testing to enhance it. With the help of AI and ML, software testers can now supercharge their testing by leveraging the human level decision making. Um, this is not what we're looking for though. So mm, not exactly what we're looking for. Because we need. So here's what we can do, right? In the meantime, until we find our predefined answer set, we're gonna write our. Oh, actually, we did it a little bit, right? So let's go back over here. And while this is upgrading, we can continue a bit. Preparing ID update, downloading. Okay. So, let's say we go with this, right? So now using behave, we have our feature file. So we're going to start with this feature file, right? And then we'll add some more later on. The next thing that we're going to need is, so this is doing this thing. We're going to need what folder does that go? Let's take a look at. Let's look at behave. And let me see. Give me a second. Turn off this calendar. Let's go here. Here. I hate when the calendar does this stupid notifications. Okay. I guess. Have it open here. Don't have it open there. I don't know where that calendar is. Is it here? There we go. Found the calendar. All right. Calendar is gone. Okay, cool. So, like I was saying, let's go back to our screen. And all right. So now we are looking for, okay, so the steps, so let's see. So we have our feature file. So now we need to create our steps, right? So we're going to create a folder in the feature file called steps. And in here, so some people will just do just one giant steps file. I am not necessarily, I'm not really crazy about having like a super long file where it's hard to find stuff. So what we're going to do, we are going to do, for now, we're going to do a Python file for like task accuracy, right? And that's going to have our code in relation to the task specific accuracy feature file, right? And I would want to name that. Let's call that task accuracy steps. All right. Let me look at the documentation. Always look at documentation. Okay, cool. So here we are. And we're going to say, all right, so let's say, all right, so you have this given here, right? Is this thing done updating yet? Let's see. Let's try enable plugin again. All right, let's restart the IDE. And we should be, so I'm gonna go to full screen, restart the IDE, and let's see what happens. All right, opening back up. And there you have it. So let's go back to our shared screen. And now you see how in our feature file, it has all the pretty colors for it to work right. All right, so let me minimize this for now. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna start creating our tests, right? We're gonna start creating our steps. So it says I have a prompt. I'm gonna go here, and we're gonna go to start off with given, and then I have a prompt. So you don't have to put the word given because it starts off here. We need to import the proper packages or whatever. Let's go back to our Python packages and let's go to behave. And we go here, and if we scroll down into the documentation, although I mean you can also use a browser for the documentation, you don't have to do it this way. But we want to import. All right, so from behave, import given, when, then, step. Right. So now you see the given resolves, and we say, given I have a prompt, and yeah, it's gonna put and then you say define let's say prompt to ask AI, right? And then we're gonna say here, and we're gonna say context because there's a context variable in behave where you can pass information from one step to the other. So that's the context variable. So we go here and then we say, all right, I'm just gonna put pass for now, right? And let's go ahead and format it properly. So we have this where it says given I have a prompt, and this is going to be, what's the format? I think it's gonna be with brackets instead, right? Yeah, there you go. So with the brackets. So this is gonna be the variable from our code, right? So here's what I want to do. I just want to do this, right? For the time being, as we work on this, just so you can see this working, right? So like, cause today we can get an early win. So what we're gonna do is we are going to see this. Mhm. What we are going to do, just so we can get an early win, we are going to just get it to print out our steps, right? So we're gonna say here, we're just gonna do and before we do that, here you also need to go here and we say prompt to send AI, because we need to pass this right here. That we need to pass this right here into the method, and that's how you do it, into the function, right? So all I'm gonna do is say print, and I'm gonna say, let's put our f string and say prompt to send to AI, and we're gonna say here and prompt to AI, right? Okay, cool. So there we are, and we go to the next line, and what else? So what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna put this on a split screen somewhere like that, so we can see what is our feature file, and that's what I do, right? I have it on a split screen. I say what's our feature file and what is our code, our steps, right? And there's different ways you can do step, right? You can do it by given, you can do it by whens, you can do it by thens, you can do it per test. It just depends, but the thing is with the steps, you can reuse them. So that's one of the things about if you have it broken down by feature file, then I don't know, it's something to consider, right? So now it says when, and I say I send the prompt to the OpenAI API, right? So we go here and we say, send prompt to AI context, and we go to here and we say print sending prompt to AI to OpenAI, right? And what I'm going to do is, so now here's the thing, right? How do you get the prompt that you set here into here, right? Because this is in this method and we need to get it to here. So what I am going to do is, I need this is context dot. Let's look at the documentation, because I don't memorize this stuff. So let's see. Test count. All right, so you see how it does here, context dot test count equals the number, right? So what we're gonna do is we're going to say context dot prompt equals prompt to send to AI, right? So now when we come down in here, we're going to say, because now it adds this prompt variable inside of it's like context is like a JSON, right? So if we do this in here, if we do print context, so we can see what's part of it, and we say sending prompt to AI, and then we say context dot prompt, right? And then the last one, and then we'll add all the API calls afterwards. Maybe with the time that it is now, we'll probably add it on. We'll add it on Wednesday, like the API calls. But here, I just want to show you a working example of behave, so you can have a better understanding of what it is that we're actually going to be doing here, right? Because behave, believe it or not, behaves pretty well, right? So this is I send the prompt, right? Because it makes it very human readable, right? Because you give this to someone who is not as technical, and this like they'll be able to understand what's going on, right? Give them this, they might have some hard time figuring that out, right? And that's why with the BDD methodology, you can have the business analyst, the QA analyst, and the developers get together and write this up, and then the QA or devs can come and start writing the steps, or they can. The QA can write part of it, the devs can write the other part. It just depends, right? There's so many different ways you can do this, right? So let's go and say here then it says OpenAI API returns me a response of, and then we can just copy this variable here.
Lunch break. Lunch break.
All right. We are gonna wrap it up in a few. So response from AI, pass the context variable, and we say we say that. All right, so here we're going to say, we'll just say for now, print f string AI expected response, right? And we're just gonna go here and say, oh, we need to pass this variable in here as well. And we do here, we do that, right? Oh, not that. There we go. So now we have, our, we're sending, like we want to send, or like setting it up. Then we have the action that we're taking. We're sending the prompt to AI, and then we have our expected result of here. And then we would also, so the response that we get from AI would compare it to the expected response that we have from. So it's probably better to name this expected response. Name that expected response. Expected response. All right. So now when we run this, right, it should be able to print out everything that we're printing out here and get it from this information here. All right. So let's give it a try. Right. We are going to do, I think we just do our CD. All right, we are in the, okay, we're in the right folder. So we should just be able to do what is the command? Just behave maybe? So look at that, right? Look at that. So one feature passed, one scenario passed, and given that we send this, did it print out our? Didn't print it out because I know that sometimes OpenAI is kind of weird about that. But let me see. Why are we getting printed out? Let me see if I do that. Oops. Let's see. So it's connecting to the task accuracy steps. It's just sometimes with the printing. Let me see. Let's see. Behave print to console. I just want to be able to show that it's printing. So uh, let's try this. So I'm gonna pass this flag in here to see. So that is what. So I'm gonna wrap it up because we'll do this part next week. So what's happening? Behave has this thing, right, where it doesn't like necessarily print to the console unless you do some stuff, right? So let me see. Maybe I can do it real quick. So behave std out command line arguments. So I'm looking at this real quick. Let's see. Capture. Trying to capture. Okay, so let's try this one. So here. Okay, so now we can kind of see it now, right? So it has let's do the no color as well. All right, there we go. So we can see a little better now, right? So let me get rid of this line. Actually, not this one. So what I did was let me get rid of that. So what I did was I added the flag that we're looking at, no color and no capture, so you can see it better, right? So here, when it says given I have a prompt, what is the top selling EV vehicle? So prompt to send AI, what is the top selling EV vehicle? So what we have here. And then when I send the prompt to OpenAI, right? So this is the context that I was printing out. I have to fix that, but no big deal because that's not important. And I say sending prompt to OpenAI. What is the top selling EV vehicle? And then which is what we have here for the I send the prompt. And then we have OpenAI returns. And we have here expected response. We have Tesla, right? So that is a crash course into how Behave is going to work and how we're going to use it, right? So on Wednesday, we are going to start adding the API calls for to connect to OpenAI in order to be able to continue with the testing. And I will reach out to Don and say, okay, where do you find these predefined answer sets? And yeah, we'll do that, right? So, but yeah, so that's what we have so far, right? That was very good. It was really good to share Behave and so you can see a working example of Behave. And now we are going to leverage that into writing our test for OpenAI and sending these API calls, right? So hopefully that you found that useful, informative, helpful, giving you a new idea, stimulating your mind, waking you up on this wonderful, wonderful Monday morning for a new week of growth and progress. And before we wrap it up, I have my guy in the chat, Operation Tech Takeover. Shout out to you, Operation Tech Takeover. How are you doing on your drive? Did you make it to work yet? But yeah, so that is our show for today. Remember, at noon Eastern time, we have premiering this week's episode of Candid Conversations, where we are going to talk about how you can take burnout and you can leverage that. All right. And yes, you know, thank you so much, Tech Takeover, because I forgot. 9 people watching. Don't forget to like and share before you leave. Please. Yes, please. All right. So tomorrow, Candid Conversations talking about burnout at noon. Tomorrow we are going live tomorrow night for our Q&A session. And that is about it. So like Tech Takeover said, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Check out the Patreon at www.techcoachralph.dev. And on that note, we are out. Enjoy your Monday.
You might think that getting into the IT field is impossible without a computer science degree, but Tech Coach Ralph is here to prove you wrong. Get ready for some jaw-dropping revelations on how to break into this lucrative industry. Listen up, tech enthusiasts! Are you ready to break through into the IT field, but feel like you need a computer science degree to make it happen? Think again! Tech Coach Ralph has some exclusive, mind-blowing secrets to share with you. Get ready to be blown away by his jaw-dropping revelations on how to break into the tech industry without a computer science degree. So get your notepad ready, because Tech Coach Ralph is going to change your life forever. Buckle up, because you're about to embark on a journey to success in the IT field.